So this is it, our new daily. Not gonna lie, it has been giving me quite a bit of issues, and I think I know why. See, I believe that every car has its own personality traits, and boy, lately it's been nothing but a fussy personality. Within the first week of ownership, we had our fair share of issues. Literally within the first day after buying it, our window regulator stopped working. Our rear view mirror decided it wanted to be Bluetooth. Our rear brakes decided to completely go out due to a line that was rubbed through. Our front tires had gone bald and flat. And just like in a marriage, it's not her fault, it's my fault. I haven't put in the time and effort into giving this thing the love that it needs. But that changes today. For a Bubblicious cleaning effect, we're gonna be using Sud Bubble from the Bubble lineup. We have been testing these products out for the better part of a year now. So let's see how Bubblicious Sud Bubble really is. Pretty damn Bubblicious. You know, I hate these high pressure hoses. They're always getting tangled. But it's kind of hard to see the bubbles when the car is light. Going back to cars and their personalities, they can also have jealous personalities. The first Mustang I had ever built had one of those jealous personalities. Jealous because every time my girlfriend would get into the passenger seat, the Mustang would decide to open her door in the middle of a turn. And my first thoughts would be that my girlfriend just didn't close the door right. Meanwhile, the Mustang was actively trying to kick her out. And I see cars as not just personalities, but also chapters of your life. I bet all of us can remember our first car very well as its quirks and personality. Oh, these wheels are so cool. I've been driving this car around for the past 2 months, I believe. And the thing that catches people's attention are these wheels. And the best thing about these wheels is that they're pretty easy to clean. I don't think I should be this out of breath detailing a car. Well, I mean, there is a lot of square footage here. The Crown Vic is a giant car. No! Oh, man. Well, there goes the pressure line. Just ruptured. I mean, considering that thing was almost 10 years old, not that surprised. Just gonna have to go the old-fashioned way. And in order to enhance the drying process, we're gonna be using some Quickie from that Bubble lineup. Probably doesn't help that it's raining. Yeah, it definitely doesn't help that it's raining. Also, going back yet again to vehicles and their personalities, it's not just cars. If you watched our latest aircraft review, we go over how even the same model aircrafts will fly a little bit different, a little bit slower, a little bit faster. Think back to your first car. Did it take 3 pumps of the gas in order to get it started in the mornings? Some people will pin those personality traits on maintenance. And yeah, to a certain extent, that's true. So this Crown Vic is a new chapter to us. We went from a 2016 Mark 7 GTI to a 1997 Ford Crown Victoria LX. So we've gone back a couple decades here in terms of the year of the car. At first I considered it a downgrade, but it was the best option for the channel. See, and when I was looking for something to replace the GTI, which is a tall order, I was looking for something that looked good, decent fuel economy, fun to drive. Can't deny this is a very handsome looking car, and these raindrops are not letting me do my job. If it stops raining, we could now move on to the inside, which houses some pretty cool features not even my newer Mark 7 GTI had. Those features being the 3-access electric seat adjustments. Speaking of seats, compared to the GTI, these aren't gonna keep us in place in tight corners, but instead they're gonna keep us comfy. Man, I'm so pissed. It hasn't rained here in Tucson in like 2 months, and the one time I detail this car, it's just sprinkling enough where I've had to wipe this car down like 4 times already. And and if you're wondering why we don't just put it inside, it's because we have 2 cars that don't move under their own power, and the Crown Vic measures 2 football fields in length. And look at that, 15 minutes later, we got clear blue skies and water spots. Well, we obviously can't control the weather, but one thing we can control is, hey, you mind setting up the tent? Sissy, ni pedo? Good man. All right, now these are favorable working conditions. For the interior, we're gonna be using OE Clean from the Robo Bubble lineup. Man, that's just off of the door card alone. And while we're at the door card, let me show you guys a really cool feature. This right here is the trunk release. The trunk is not gonna open. No, it has an added safety feature that it only opens once we close the door. Yes, that's a feature designed by Ford. It's totally not due to a sticky latch. Going back to the OE Clean, I am very picky when it comes to interior cleaners because I hate when you use one and it leaves everything sticky and glossy and tacky. For years, my go-to was the Meguiar's Natural Shine Protectant, but this OE Clean is right up there with it because it doesn't leave a tacky, greasy surface. Instead, it leaves a nice OE finish, for lack of a better word. Oh, and while we're here, this brings us to my next favorite feature, and that is with this Crown Vic, we have automatic headlights compared to the GTI, which being decades ahead, you would think it would have automatic headlights, but it didn't. But one of the coolest things about the interior is it has a digital display. Nice. Well, our dash is now spotless. Needless to say, the interior is a really nice place to be, but it's also where one of my biggest gripes for this car is, and that is the sound system. We went from having Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, all of the good stuff to this guy right here. If you don't know what one of these are, then you haven't been through it. So that is surely one of the first upgrades that I want to do to this car. Because this filter's red, we're gonna get another 5 horsepower. I wasn't gonna do it, but we might as well. Wow, that really does make a big difference. We've found something pretty interesting. There's a drifter stitch here. Oh my gosh, that plastic's gonna be shiny for sure. Well, it looks like we've come across a bit of an unrelated dilemma here. One of the palm trees outside of our place decided to go belly up. Hey Ozzy, you know anyone that can remove that tree? See? Cool, you mind giving him a call? See. Oh!
Ready.
I hope that's not Ozzy with the chainsaw. Ay, deja tayo.
This is concrete?
¿Esos dos?
Yeah, please.
Well, hopefully that alleviates the temper tantrums the Crown Vic has been giving us lately. With that little bit of TLC, we do have more content coming up with the Crown Vic, including a full paint correction, which that car very much needs. But that pretty much concludes this episode. It was just some very much due maintenance and, again, TLC. But with that being said, thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you on the next one.